What's up, guys? My name is Brandon Ball. I am the owner of Perpetual Motion and a part owner of Extend Marketing Partners. Welcome back to another Marketing Monday. Every Monday on this channel, I come on here and I give you tricks and tips and hints and just things that are going on in the marketing world, things that you need to be aware of in order to help grow your business or grow your brand, or maybe you're thinking about starting a business. It's just kind of an insight into the marketing world. So today I'll get right into it. Today we're talking about colors and the effect that colors have on your marketing strategy, and how you need to think about your logo or your brand, or how you can use marketing, or how you can use colors in your marketing materials. So if you haven't already, do me a favor, like this video. Subscribe to the channel. It really will help the channel grow. And like I said, every Monday I will come on here and I will post another video. So if you hit the little bell by the subscribe, you can be notified when that video gets released or goes live. So like I said, today we're talking about colors, so I'll jump right into it. Obviously, I want to start with one of the main colors on the spectrum, one of the main colors you see in most people's marketing, and that's red. Red is one of the, it's very powerful. It's, promotes love and courage and passion, but it also does a couple other things that we're going to dive into. So it's one of the most influential colors on the spectrum when it comes to impulse buying. That's why you see a lot of your clearance signs. When things are on clearance, it boosts your heart rate and it gets you excited because it's a red. Boost your heart rate and gets you excited about it, and therefore we use it for clearance things. We also use it next time you look at the checkout, as you're going to check out. Look at the colors of the candy bars that are there, and the different things that are right up front there, because the majority of those colors are going to be red because they want you to grab it. They want that impulse of, oh, that's red, I like that. And you see that with a lot of things in that front section. You also see with a lot of food-related companies, because red stimulates the appetite. It stimulates your appetite glands, and it gets you kind of your mouth watering a little bit when you see the color red. Now that's why you see people like McDonald's, Wendy's, Arby's, Kit Kat, Coca-Cola, Kellogg's. I mean, the list goes on and on and on about all the brands that use red in their logo or in their marketing that stimulate your appetite, and because they're food related brands. Next time you're driving down the highway or driving down driving through town, look around at all the restaurants and see how many of them are red, because that is a huge industry that the color is used in, as well as other industries, but I mean, it is such a powerful color. We use it all the time. So that's red. Next, we'll dive into yellow. Yellow is known to be fun and energetic and promote joy and being spontaneous. So there's all kinds of uses of yellow. It is also known to stimulate the mental process. So if you have little bits in yellow, it gets people thinking. It gets people engaged in that. It's also the very first color that the human eye recognizes. So if you have a sales flyer with every color on the spectrum, the human eye is going to see the yellow first. Now it's so, you don't even realize that you do it, but because it's got such long wavelengths, that's the very first color that you see. It's also the first color that kids see, but we'll get to that a little later on. So the only thing with yellow is you got to be careful how much yellow you use, because it has been proven to cause anxiety. So just be a little cautious there. It's a great second color to use in your logo, or you can use it as your main color as long as you have something to accent it. A lot of companies do. Companies like UPS, Nikon, Best Buy, they've all done a great job at using the color yellow as their main color, but they also have a secondary color as well to kind of break it up and so it doesn't have that anxiety attached to it. So next we're going to go to blue. Blue is pretty much the polar opposite of red, just in general. It usually stimulates or is associated with intelligence, dependability, strength, and trust. So that's why you see a lot of politicians will either wear like red because it's like powerful, or blue because they want you to say, oh, this is a trustworthy guy, or this is somebody I can depend on, or he's a strong character, or he or she or whoever is wearing that color is someone I can depend on. It typically appeals more towards men, just because it's a cooling color. For some reason, men seem to be attracted more to blue, but it also curbs appetite. So whereas red stimulates appetite, blue curbs appetite, which is great because it's also been known to and proven to increase productivity. So if you're sitting in a room that is red, your productivity is going to be lower than if you're sitting in a room that's blue. So there is that as well. So a lot of places like Facebook, American Express, Dell, those are companies that want you to feel like that you're safe, or that you can trust their brand when you're using it. You don't want to worry about your security or something when you're on Facebook. You don't want to worry about is my computer gonna go out when I buy a Dell computer, because it's a brand that I'm they're dependable. I can trust them. So there's a lot of companies out there that have had great use of the color blue, especially with other accent colors. So one thing I will note is your logo or your brand, you don't have to have one color. You can pick 2 colors is usually where I would stay. 3 colors maybe if you want to throw some white in there or something like that. But for the most part, I would stick to 2 or 3. I would never go more than that, unless you're somebody that is just a very creative, very like Google. Google is known to be very creative and very innovative. So they have 4 colors in their logo. But anyway, I would stick to your 2 or 3, especially starting out. You can always rebrand down the road, but that's kind of where I would bulk at. So we'll move on to the next color here. The next one is green. Symbolizes youth, nature, hope, and then obviously in some industries, like the banking industry, symbolizes money. Especially in the United States, we tend to see green as have that money attachment. But it also represents new growth and opportunity. So if you're an up and coming business, or somebody that's maybe doing consulting or something like that, where someone comes to you because you're the last resort and they're looking for a new opportunity, maybe an angel investor or something like that. Maybe your logo is green because it represents that hope and that new opportunity that is there and represents growth. Or maybe you're a bank and you want to use green because it represents money, and I'm gonna tend to lean towards that. If I'm putting my money in there, I want to make sure that it is have that color attachment to it. So there's been a lot of companies that have done well with green as their as their main logo. You've got John Deere, you've got Spotify, Land Rover, Whole Foods. Whole Foods is one of those that you think of nature and you think of youth and that kind of thing. It's like Whole Foods is one of those that when you buy from Whole Foods, you see the green in their logo and you say, oh, this is a healthy option. Subway, same idea. Subway has branded itself as a healthy option for fast food. They use green in their logo to represent that. So a lot of people have done well with green. I'm not going to do all the colors, by the way. I'm just going to kind of basic out. You've also got ones like orange and purple and those kind of colors that are, I'm not going to talk about those. They are very important, and I will, you can always reach out to me if you want this article. I actually wrote my senior thesis when I was in college about how colors influence the subconscious mind of consumers. So if anyone would like to read that, just reach out to me. I'll link my email and my Facebook page down below. But it's a very unique article. It talks about what all the colors mean, what they mean for different industries, and what they mean for different ages. So I'll link that down below if you're interested, but just know I'm not going to go through all the colors now. But I am going to do white and then black. Those are our last 2 colors. So white is known to be, represent truth, innocence, honesty, that kind of purity, if you will. It can be often used to contrast another color. Like if you want to use blue as your main logo, because blue is, strong, independent, and reliable, and, so on and so forth, but you don't want to use just blue, you want to accent it with something else. A lot of times white is that perfect accent because it's innocent, it's pure, it's honest. It's one of those things that you can really, you feel good about using. It also is used to spark creativity, which is pretty unique. It's something when I was doing my research on this, I didn't expect. I figured like a yellow would be the creative one or something like that, which it is to an extent, but white is used to spark creativity. That's why you see most of your cubicles, they're just white, because it's like a blank canvas. You can imagine whatever you want on it. If you already have a color there, you're limited to what you can imagine, whereas white sparks that creative image of, this could be anything. So it is used to spark creativity. However, same with yellow. If I just am sitting there staring at a white logo or a white wall, it is known to create, to make consumers anxious. So be a little cautious when you use the color white, as long as you're not using it too much, or if you're just using it as an accent, that's one thing. But there are companies that have used white in different shades of grays and whites to really, make a point. Think of Apple or Wikipedia. Honda, those companies that are known to have white logos, but they aren't just all white. They actually have some kind of color or contrast in there with them, but they are primarily white. So it can be done. It has been done, has been proven to be effective, but it's just one of those things you got to be a little bit cautious with. And lastly, we will end with the color black. It is the strongest one on the spectrum. It is the most powerful color you can use. But saying that, you have to be very intentional where you use it. It's known for, elegance, magic, mystery, being those type of like, oh, what's next? What can I never know what to expect here. It's very elegant. It's why, if you think of someone in a black dress on the red carpet, that's very elegant. That's something that you move on with. So you see a lot of like Gucci and Adidas have done a great job of using black, accented with other colors, but using black as their primary color because it is so powerful, and then using the accents in to make it just so you're not looking at it, it's just not all black. So it is, if you use too much of it, obviously it can be a bad thing as well. It is known to represent oppression and negativity. So obviously be careful how much of it you're using. You don't want the majority of your logo to be black because that's just depressing. But using black very intentionally can be one of the best things you do for your logo. So those are going to be the main colors that I highlighted right there. Like I said, if you want to know more about the rest of them or more about these colors, I only gave you a brief overview. But if you want to know more about these, you can reach out to me and I will send you the article that I wrote as my senior thesis when I was in college. I can send that to you. But I just also want to make a little note in here that just because these colors mean something here in the United States to us, it can be different. And even within the United States, different regions in the United States or different regions across the country have different meanings. Like the northern part of the country where it's colder, they're drawn more towards cold colors, like your blues and your greens and those colors that are, they're cool colors. They're calming, they're relaxing, and that's what they're known for because that's the northern part of the country. That's what they're used to. Whereas in the southern part of the country where it's hot and humid and exciting and fun and adventurous, that southern part of the country is more known for reds and yellows and oranges and those warm colors that stimulate that different type of person. So even just within the northern and the southern region, they tend to prefer different colors. So knowing that as you're developing a brand, if you're developing a brand in Maine, maybe that looks different than if you're developing the same brand in Florida. So just knowing the difference there is really, can be really key. So also age, my last point here, Age can be a factor as well. You know, first of all, cool colors have very short wavelengths. Warm colors, your reds, your yellows, you know, those have really long wavelengths. That's why yellow is the very first color that you see. It's also the very first color that babies see. As their eyes are developing, they see warm colors before they see cool colors. So if you're trying to market to kids especially, kids are usually higher energy, higher, you know, that's why you see a lot of your, you know, cereals and candy and that kind of thing that are, you know, tend to be more marketed towards kids. A lot of those are reds and yellows and oranges because they're exciting and they're typically drawn more towards kids. Whereas as you get older, you have less energy and you're a lot calmer, you're a lot, you know, then those cool colors come into play where, you know, I want to relax and I want it to, you know, take a deep breath and be surrounded by cool colors rather than these, you know, warm, exciting colors, because that's too much, you know. So knowing who your target market is going to be a main factor in how you brand yourself or how you design your logo or that kind of thing as well. So that's it for me today. I just wanted to get on and talk to you guys for today's Marketing Monday about the use of colors. Like I said, my senior thesis when I was in college was about how colors influence the subconscious mind. If you're interested in reading that report or that document, I guess, I will link my email and my Facebook page down below. I'll see if I can upload it to my Facebook page. I don't know if I can or not. But I'll see if I can, and then if not, you can always email me or reach out to me, and I can send you the actual report, and you can read through that. It's very interesting. I find it very interesting, and if you have a business or if you're thinking about rebranding or something like that, it could be a very, very useful tool to you as well. So if you have any questions, reach out to me there. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, please do me a favor. Like the video down below, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, it really does help me out. And then I will see you next week.